Good morning, friends. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I added the finishing touch to the raised bed garden, trying to transform it from raised beds into a garden room. And then I'm going to unveil the new plans for the back garden where we're going to be having a flower library. Let's get started. So when I first started this garden design project at the very beginning of the season, my thought was to take all of the elements found in an indoor room and try to make those happen in an outdoor garden setting. So I started in by adding in the new deck as the flooring and almost as an entrance point or a porch or a front door to the raised beds. Then we added in the trellises, which I think made a big difference. It kind of gave us the feeling of walls. And all along I thought I really wanted to add a roof to this area just so that it would really feel like its own standalone garden, kind of a separate destination from the main flower walk and the hydrangea room. And this room is going to connect to the new room that I want to create next year. But I knew it needed a finishing touch, and I think what it needed was a little bit of whimsy, a little bit of fun, and it definitely needed a roof. And so what I did was look around for some solar lights that I could run from one trellis to another. And I was watching my favorite YouTuber, The Impatient Gardener, and she mentioned that HoseLink sells solar lights. So I took a look at their website, and lo and behold, they have heavy-duty solar lights. And so I ordered 150 feet. I actually didn't need that much. I think I only needed 100 feet. But I'm running these awesome party solar lights up all 4 trellises, up and down 4 times, then across the way, and check out what this area looks like at night. So here it is in the evening, and I think it looks just so beautiful, magical, charming. It really kind of brings that roof to the forefront now that it's the evening time. And I just think it creates this magical moment in the back of the garden that once again encourages you to stay and explore the garden for a while. So what I've done is I've used 100 feet of string lights, and you probably could accomplish this look with about 1/4 of those because I ran them up and down each trellis 4 times before I swooped them from one side to another. And up the front trellises, we have that beautiful cup and saucer vine. And then we can go ahead, walk through the lower portion of the roof. And I hope this translates on the camera. It's a little bit hard to do night photography, but I did have one of those really cool snail vines germinate and start to take off. You can see it there on the left-hand side of your screen, and some of you have told me that that one has a really fragrant bloom, so that will just be so cool to see. And in the winter, I have something really exciting planned. You know how I always do the dried flower Christmas tree? Well, this year we're going to do one outside, a full-size Christmas tree, and it's going to be dried flowers with a focus on gourds for the birds. And that's going to go right here with lots more of these really cool HoseLink string lights. It's going to be so awesome. So it's just been so fun to have this solar lighting, and I really love having anything in the garden or adding anything to the garden that encourages people to stay longer or to come and visit at a different time of day. And I've always wanted to add lights into this area, but I thought it would be impossible because we live in a 1950s home. So I have basically no power back here in the garden, no water, nothing like that. I'm completely dependent on solar power, but a lot of the solar lights just aren't very good or they don't last long. These ones really do stay on from dusk until dawn. I was up at 6 this morning, maybe 5:45, and the lights were still on. So that's really amazing. So now let me walk you through. Do we have a bird at the bird bath? I think we do. So I moved the bird bath back a bit, and what I want to do next, and I think we'll break ground on this garden in about 2 months' time, is that I want to create a writing garden, and the centerpiece of this garden is going to be a floral library. So depending on whether I can get the permits necessary for a structure back here, I guess what I should say, the design may change based on permits. But here's what I'm thinking as my initial plan. The compost pile, which sits at the back of the property, is going to turn into a writing shed. Just something really simple, not fancy at all, small, enough for 2 people, and mainly it's just going to serve as a writing room. And I want the back wall to be like a floral library, almost like, you know, in Beauty and the Beast when she walks in and there's that amazing library, that it would almost have the feel of that moment, but on a much smaller and more humble scale. I don't want it to stick out. I want it to seem like it could have been built in the 1950s. Now, if for whatever reason I can't secure the permit for that, I might just go with some other kind of a structure. I think you can put in a gazebo and also a pergola without a permit. So we'll kind of see how that turns out. But instead of this area being cut flowers, I'm going to turn it into a white garden, but not about white flowers per se, but more about foliage that glows in the evening. So my inspiration for this new garden is a combination of Monty Don's writing garden and also the white garden at Sissinghurst. And when we went to Virginia this year, I also visited Brent and Becky's Bulbs, and they had a white garden there, and what was looking good was really the foliage. The foliage was what drew me in. So that's my thought process, is that instead of kind of traveling through my gardens and looking at a compost pile at the end of the row, that you would instead look onto a floral library that's maybe beautifully lit from within, and you just see this wall of books that beckons you to come inside, stay a while, that, hey, let's keep it real, protects you from the mosquitoes in the summer, because even right now I'm getting bit as we speak. And the way these 2 gardens are going to connect, and I'll definitely do this no matter what kind of a structure we end up going with, and maybe we'll just DIY it too. I'm really just in the preliminary stages, but no matter what, the garden is going to extend from this white lilac all the way to the edge where the pear is. Very simple, symmetrical design. All the new daffodils that I bought are going to go back here. They're all white daffodils. And then we're going to have a curving pathway that will build probably maybe over winter, that will just kind of meander and take you back to whatever structure we're able to get approved. So friends, that's my main plan for the garden we'll be working on in 2024. And I think it's really a necessary garden to work on. That garden used to be hidden by a couple rows of black raspberries, and I used to stick things like pole beans and just other large structures in front of my compost pile to hide it. But I think it's time to relocate the compost pile. We're definitely not going to get rid of it. We'll just put it somewhere else where it's a little more hidden, and we'll make the back of the garden a final destination. I just think it'll be so cool to travel through all the gardens and end up at a flower library. I can't think of anything better. So friends, I hope you have a wonderful day out there in your gardens. Grace will be out here with me this evening enjoying the solar lights from HoseLink. And we will see you sometime real soon, because it's almost time to get the cool flowers started. Bye friends. Say bye.